Hey everyone, it's Xant. Christmas time is upon us, and our monthly Sokai has descended. Time to discuss the last new toys for this decade before we hit 2020. We have the Akatsuki Gundam, the big gold beast, coming as a welfare. It's completely covered in beam-reflecting laminate. Now, it's a little more complicated than that, but I think that's the easiest way to describe it. And this sucker is practically immune to beam weaponry. It can even handle large positron cannons like the Lohengrin and reflect it. It was developed by Orb as the last line of defense, and the machine also makes use of two systems, similar to the Striker packs. They're named the Iwashi and the Shiranui. Now, Iwashi was created for atmospheric combat, and it can detach into an unmanned fighter, while the Shiranui was made for space combat, and it comes with a Dragoon system. Flexible. With that said and done, let's look into the weaponry. It has a CIWS turret set, a beam rifle, a beam saber that can be split into two individual beam sabers, and a defensive shield. It's mainly used to block physical weaponry because the body is really flimsy and it can't really do that. In terms of pack-specific additions, the Iwashi pack also comes with a pair of beam cannons on it, while the Shiranui's Dragoons can create a beam shield, actually large enough for a battleship or two to fit in and be protected. I expect this machine to come with a crazy amount of beam resistance and defense while having almost no physical protection, but we'll see, it is a welfare. The pilot coming with the Akatsuki is going to be Mulaflaga, but his post-Neo Roanoke version. After this poor lad tanked the dying blow of the Dominion in the first season of Gundam Seed, he was captured and brainwashed by the Earth forces and turned into the leader of a crack experimental unit. After a lot of run-ins with his original crewmates and eventually being captured by them, his memory comes back and he throws away his injected identity of Neo, and it ends in him piloting the Akatsuki instead of Kigali, who was the original intended pilot. I'm actually not even sure what to expect from him as a pilot. Maybe shot-focused, because his origins? Who knows? He was such an all-rounder during the series that he could really do anything. He has a huge bag of tricks. Next up is the Blue Destiny, hailing from the OG Gundam side story, the Blue Destiny. Odd how that naming scheme works. Canonically piloted by Yu Kajima, this machine was a testbed for the exam system that leveraged the original head unit of the Blue Destiny Zero and the body of the Gundam ground type. As it was a side story machine, there's not a lot of information about it other than that, so let's talk about the weapons. It comes with two Vulcan turret sets, one in the head and one in the chest, two wired control missiles, two beam sabers, one beam rifle, one 180mm cannon, one twin beam cannon, and one shield. Now obviously the machine has the exam system in it, but the power output was actually halved for safety by one of the technology officers involved in the Blue Destiny project, so don't expect a full-feature exam system for free. And for the last of the machines, the Sokai suits, Turn A and Turn X, finally drop into the game. Now I know people have been clamoring for these two suits, for reasons unknown to me. Aesthetically, I like the Turn X much more than the mustached A, but apparently A has some crazy tricks up its sleeve, so let's figure this out. Turn X, canonically piloted by Gim Gingham, is the brother suit of Turn A, and also its predecessor of unknown origins. Designed out of many modular parts that can detach, and with the cockpit located in the head, this machine was designed for combat and makes use of a Psycomu system to really lay out the pain. It also features an energy draining unit on the chest, which can just sap power straight out of opposing mobile suits. Or friendly suits, whatever suits you I guess. Now the Turn X has a carapace weapons platform, that's the thing mounted on the back, and this is where the majority of the weapons of the Turn X are stored. You have the 3-tube missile launcher on here, a bazooka, a beam rifle, and a hand beam gun. Beyond those, it also has 9 megaparticle cannons. These are installed on each detachable body part, and they're all remotely controlled by Psycomu. And it also has a fusion destruction manipulator. Fancy name, but it's the device that's on the right arm. It can be a beam cannon, a beam saber, and it also supplies energy for the Turn X's Shining Finger knockoff. Oh yeah, there's also 3 grappling wires inside of it too. A couple of extra notes about the Turn X. The separated body parts can surround an enemy and generate a crippling magnetic field. The suit also has an eye field surrounding it, which negates beam attacks. Finally, the Turn X has what's called the Moonlight Butterfly system. Using a massive amount of energy and nanomachines inside the suit, large butterfly wings appear behind the suit, hence the name, and can reduce technology within its active range to sand. To nobody's surprise, this can be used defensively or offensively. Our last Sokai machine is the Turn A, which was canonically piloted by Laurent Sahak. Powered by an artificial black hole, this machine lacks the typical internals of a mobile suit, and it's actually controlled by eye-field technology. Thus, most of the internals are empty and used to store other things like weaponry or thrusters. Much like the Turn X, A also has the nanomachines for Moonlight Butterfly. It can also use the nanomachines to repair itself, albeit slowly. Also, Turn A can render itself invisible by bending light around it, somehow. Now, for the Turn A's weapons, we have 2 beam cannons, 2 beam sabers, 6 multi-purpose silos, which are used for storing weapons, a beam rifle, a hyper hammer, and a shield. It just looks ridiculous. I still think the X looks better, and looking at the machines after researching them, I still don't really get the hype around them. Like, Moonlight Butterfly is pretty cool, I guess, but each to their own though, right? Quattro Bagina finally saunters his way into GBGW, it seems. An alias of Shar Aznable, this madman got his new identity after infiltrating the Earth Federation's ranks with only a pair of aviator shades on his face. Talk about a top-tier disguise there. After getting into a scuffle almost right away with the Titans, Quattro joined the AEUG and became a founding member. This identity made him a mentor and ally to his old rivals and foes, ranging from Camille to Amuro. Eventually, he got off by Haman. We're never explicitly told of his ending though, as we're left seeing his mobile suit with an empty, open cockpit. Quite the cockroach. Keira Sue from Char's Counterattack is also joining us in GBGW. Now, she was Londo Bell's second best pilot, only losing out to Amuro. And that's not a bad place to be, when you think about it. The fact that the only person better than you in that entire ship is the protagonist, that is an award in and of itself. She sortied on many occasions and only lost out to new types, which is a feat in and of itself. Eventually, however, she kicked the bucket when Gus snapped her like a Slim Jim. So with that, we've gone over all the new stuff that's coming in this week. Now I will say, this is a double first. The first double, well, I guess first part of the double, is we've never had 2 events running concurrently at the same time. Whether this is good or bad remains to be seen. And the second one is this is the first time we've had a banner running for more than a week. So, that's pretty cool. Hopefully this says something about the game going forward. Maybe they're going to try to change things up a little bit than just an event every single week. Maybe they'll change it to every other week so we can play the story and farm other things. Wink wink, nudge nudge. We'll find out. Now, hopefully that there's something that's coming in this week that you're interested in, whether it's the Wing Endless Waltz, whether it's the Sokai, or whatever. You know, maybe there's something there. If so, good luck on your rolls. Hopefully Christmas season does good for you. Otherwise, you know, if you're like me, just keep sitting on it. It's not like they're going to go anywhere. They're going to come back eventually, right? And the pilot's going to be added to the normal pools, so it's not really a big deal. With that, I'm going to wrap up the video here. Peace out. See you in the next one.